بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. Good morning everyone. Today in this video I'm going to cover the end of term assessment structure, materials related to vocabulary, grammar and functional language for grade 11 general. Before we start with the material itself, we have to know the structure of our exam, the upcoming exam. So the summative assessment consists of two parts. The first part is the paper exam, which weighs 40% of the exam. This one will be the writing one, and the Swift Assess exam, which will be the maze and the reading part, and it weighs 60% of the summative assessment. In the writing one, you will have 5 questions in the paper-based exam. The first question, which is a new question, it's an opinion one. You will be given a topic and you have to state your opinion about that one. That question has 5 marks. Then on the same topic, we're going to write a plan or design a plan using different ways, either bulletin points or either a mind map. It's up to you. Just make sure that you put short sentences here, short ideas, not a full essay. Also, this plan has 5 marks. Then we move to the third one, which is an essay. You're going to change your ideas that you put in a plan to an essay. Please make sure that you write in paragraphs. Start with capital letter and with full stop. Pay attention to your spelling, to your punctuation. After you finish, reread your topic to edit and fix any grammar or spelling, punctuation mistakes. Make sure that you cover all the prompts. This is what we call task completion. You will have or get 3 prompts and you need to answer these prompts in paragraphs, not only a question and answer, but in an essay. Okay, then question 4, which also weighs 5 marks, it's the inference and the justification question. The inference one, you're going to read a full passage. You need to understand the implicit idea in between the lines. Okay, so inference means استنتاج. What do you infer? Or what can you infer? ماذا تستنتج? Based on your reading comprehension. Then justification, you have to put evidence from the text that justify your inference. Okay, أنا استنتجت كذا بناء على ماذا؟ بناء على أدلة, evidence موجودة بالpassage. I have to put them in my justification answer. At least here you need to put 2 pieces of evidence. 1 is not enough. You have to put at least 2 to get the full mark, which is 3 marks. After that, this is the writing one. After that, and this one lasts for 1 hour and a half, 90 minutes. Then after that, you start your Swift Assess exam on Swift Assess on your devices, which is the reading one. And this time, instead of reorder the words, no, you're going to have a maze, but it will be below level. So this one, you must make sure that you get these 5 marks because it's below level. Then another maze at level. Then the reading part, you will be given 2 pieces of reading, 2 passages with 3 questions. With the 3 questions: below level reading text, at level, and at level. Okay. Talking more in details. Talking more in details about the reading and writing, as what I told you. This is the first one, 5 marks. The opinion. Students are asked to produce at least 2 sentences here in the opinion one. At least you need to put or produce 2 sentences contain your opinion about the topic. Topic will be related to the essay prompt that you will write a plan on, and you're going to write your essay. Essay again مقال أو النص التعبيري. Okay, then your writing task, also free response plan. Here, plan. Students are asked to produce a plan to answer an essay prompt. Plan, as what I said before, bulletin points, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, and the points that you're going to mention in each one of them, or like a mind map. Okay. Then the writing, the extended response, the essay itself, produce an extended text in response to a prompt and the 3 bullet points. Okay, so here you're going to write your full essay. This one weighs 25 marks. Then the inference and the justification, as what I just said, test deep understand this question. Yeah, test deep understanding of a text. Then justification, students answer to the inference question, mentioning evidence from the text. Okay. Now, for the grammar, before the grammar, we have here the list of vocabulary. The main topics that the exam will revolve around will be either places, and we covered this topic in Unit 5. Health and fitness, we covered this one in Unit 6, but art is almost new. Okay, we didn't cover it in our course book. So here I put for you the list of these words with their definitions, their meaning in English, and an example on each one of them. So this is your personal responsibility to read and to understand and to memorize, to use sentences, or at least to know how to use them to fill in the blanks, or to understand them when they come in your exam. After each list, I put for you sentences in a context to choose from. Also here we have the model answers for them. So this part is self-study responsibility. Okay, let's move now to the okay. I maybe I need just to focus here on the art part because we didn't cover it a lot during the semester. So painting, we know the meaning of painting, the art or process of applying paint to a surface or creating an image or artwork. Sculpture, pay attention to this word, sculpture. It's the art of making second or 3D, 2D or 3D forms by curving stone or wood اللي هو النحت. Architecture, هندسة العمارة, the art and science of designing, constructing buildings. Combination, مزيج, خليط, تركيب, so you combine or mix two things, blend different elements together. Design, تصميم. Portrait, اللي هي الصورة, painting or drawing or a photograph. Okay. Aisha's favorite hobby is what? Landscapes in her spare time. What do you think is what she do? Landscapes is painting landscapes in her spare time. The artist used clay. When I have clay and I have create, so it's obviously the word sculpture. The Taj Mahal in India is an example. I'm talking about Taj Mahal, a building, a famous landmark in India. So I'm talking about architecture. The chef's special pizza was a unique what? I have pizza, I have a flavor. So it's a combination, a unique combination of the flavors. The fashion designer, I'm talking about a fashion designer, and I'm talking here about a dress, so it's obviously it's design. The fashion designer sketched out the design for the new dress collection. The artist painted what? A stunning, wow, a stunning what? A stunning portrait. Painted of her grandmother, and usually portrait is related to people, photographs, pictures, or drawings of people. So let's check the answers: painting, sculpture, architecture, combination, design, and portrait. That's fine. Okay, now for the grammar, we need to cover these 6 here. I have another one down. We need to cover these topics: reported speech, third conditional, past continuous, cleft sentences, conjunction, as subordinating conjunctions, while, whereas, whilst, and comparative adjectives. Okay. The first topic, I thought that I would win the race. The first topic is related to reported speech. Okay, so when I say I thought that I would win the race, that means that the speaker is telling us what they expected would happen in the competition. So the direct thought was the direct speech. We know that the direct speech is the exact word of someone saying, while the reported or indirect, when we retell or someone retells what other people said about a certain topic. So when I say the direct thought was, I will win the race. However, they didn't win. So he said, I thought that I would win the race. Pay attention here that the tense in the actual or in the direct speech was in the future, while when we reported that, we used what? We used past, thought, and would. Why? Because reported speech is based on back shifting. What does it mean, back shifting? Back shifting or back shifted verb. It means to change the tense or the verb one tense back from present to past, from past to past perfect. So the grammatical structure or the grammatical rule for reported thoughts, we put subject, thought, said, reported, believed, asked, whatever, then we put that clause. What comes in that clause? We add that, then the subject, then we change the verb from whatever, from present, from future, or either from past to one tense back. Here, the tense was will, which is future, will win, so I just change will to would. Okay. When do we use reported speech? We can use reported thoughts to repeat what someone's expectations had been about an event that has now taken place. So when we use reported thoughts, the implication is that the results are different to how the speaker expected them to be. What does that mean? يا صبايا معناها إنه أنا بس أستخدم reported thoughts هي أفكار في الواقع الحال أو في الوقت الحالي اللي أنا حكيت عنها كنت بتوقع إنها رح تصير، بس لما أعمل لها reported هي على الأغلب صارت different، صارت مختلفة on how the speaker expected them to be. أصبحت مختلفة عن المتحدث عن ما هو توقع. So when we report, we are talking about the thought that has taken place in the past. Because of that we back shift، يعني بنروح بالtense بالverb one tense back from the direct thought by moving it one step into the past. So will becomes would. My mom thought that she was going to pick me up from school but she couldn't in the end. شو كان أصل هاي الجملة؟ My mom thought that she was. It was my mom said أو الأم قالت I'm going to pick you up from school. I'm going. هيك كان أصلها عم نحكي في البريزنت، بس لما صارت بالثوت reported thought صارت أفكار منقولة، هي اعتقدت أو expected إنها رح تاخدني but she couldn't. Okay, they thought that they were taking the exam next week, but it was cancelled. هاي شو كان أصلها؟ They thought that they were taking the exam next week. هاي كان أصلها they are taking the exam next week. بس تحولت من ال present لل past، من are ل were لما استخدمنا معها they thought. Okay. What's here? Maryam thought that she was going to fail the exam, but she actually passed. She thought. The actual words would be Maryam says, between quotation mark, I am going to fail the exam. So when we change it to reported thoughts, it becomes Maryam thought that she was going to fail the exam. Okay. But actually the result was different from what she had expected before. Okay, here is a video that you can watch on your at your convenience about reported speech in general. Another one here also. Okay, so in more details about reported speech in general, not only reported thoughts, backshifting is the changing of a present tense to a past tense, following a past form of a reporting verb. I have two essential or basic elements in reported speech. The first one, to change from present to past or from past to past perfect. The second one is to use what? Reporting verb, past form of reporting verb. So look here, I have this question. I ask you, where did you go yesterday? So let's say Amani is going to tell Dhikra that the teacher asked us, or he asked, or she asked, where I had gone the day before. Look, I have where, I kept where, but I added what? I added a past reporting verb. Here is the past reporting verb. Okay. Where I kept where the same, I need to keep the WH words. But look here, did go, it makes simple past. But when I change it to reported speech, I backshift the tense from simple past to what? To past perfect. Had gone. This is what we call past perfect. This is what we call what? Backshift. Past perfect. You understand me, ladies, yeah? Okay, so pay attention to the new order. We added step 1, a reporting verb. Step 2, we put the WH word question. Then here I have what? I have helping verb, subject, then the main verb. No, in reported speech, step number 3 is to put the subject, I, you, in a question becomes I in indirect speech or reported speech. Then we backshift the tense. We change any other time expressions like yesterday becomes the day before. Ladies, pay attention that you need to study the reported speech worksheet that I gave to you in the class, because it includes all these changes and all that explanation. Okay, now about expressing past expectations with thought. She thought they will come early. Reported, she thought that they would come early. Where's my cursor? Hello. Okay. So here, this is the actual what expectation in present using thought. This is the reporting verb number 1. This is the clause that. Then what comes after that clause? We changed well to would backshifting to talk about past expectations with hope. The third condition is past beliefs and intentions in the passive. So the house was built in 1990. Reported, I'm talking now about beliefs. It was believed by people that the house was built. I just added what here. We can also use here that the house, no, just keep it the same. What we just add, it was believed, to talk about beliefs and intentions in the passive. Okay, this is the reporting verb. Here, I wanted to say that if I want to backshift was built, I can say that it had been built. To backshift simple past passive to past perfect passive, had been built, also works in this case. Okay, here is the general rules for reported speech. Okay, so if I have present simple and reported speech, I just change it to past simple. So here like becomes like. Present continuous, I'm living, was living, she was living. Or if the subject is plural, they were living. Past simple, bought a car, becomes past perfect, had bought. Okay, past continuous, was walking, it becomes had been walking. We just keep the second part the same, we just change the first part. So was in simple past, we change it to past perfect, had been. Actually, what is important here, like will becomes would, but if I have would, it stays the same would because it's already in the past. Can becomes could, shall becomes should, shall, would, or should also. Here, should, would, or should. May, might, may, and might, must. Okay. I will leave you with these sentences to practice. Okay. What I want to focus on reporting such things, reporting orders. Okay. So here I like this song. He said that he liked this song. Where's your sister? She asked me where my sister was. We change. I don't speak Italian. She said that she didn't speak Italian. Say hello to Jam. This is an order, like an order or okay. They said they asked me to say. If a sentence starts with imperative verb or order like this, we add here to. They asked me to say hello to Jem. Here, okay, the film began at 7 o'clock. He said that the film had begun because we backshift. Don't play on the grass, boys, she said. So she told the boys not. If I have negative, I start with not to play. She said, she told the boys not to play. Please focus on these orders and imperative sentences. Okay, do I have any other here? Don't try this at home. So the stuntman told the audience, or advised, giving advice, the audience not to try this becomes that in reported speech, not to try that. About that home. Sorry for my handwriting. Okay. Here we have reported questions. What time does the train leave? He asked what time the train left, because I back shift this one to past. This is present, I shifted to past. Anyway, here you have the model answer. Let's check the sentences that I focused on. They asked me to say hello to Jam. She told the boys not to play on the grass. Advised the audience not to try it or to try that at home. Okay, just please make sure that you cover all these by details by yourself. Okay, and if you have any question, I'm very glad to answer yours. Okay. Change the following from direct into indirect using thought. We will bring our passports to the airport. So they thought that we, the indirect speech, become they, because I'm talking about them, I'm not the speaker. They said that we will bring, so now I'm reporting what they thought. So they thought that they would bring, our becomes their, because we change the pronouns, their passports to the airport. So this way is easier, just to add what Brooks instead of my handwriting. Sorry, so just excuse me for my past or previous slide. I can get this done by Thursday. He thought that he can becomes what could get. This becomes that. Please make sure that you revise the worksheet for these words, the list of words and the list of model verbs that we change from direct to indirect, that he could get that done by, but it seems that his expectation was wrong and he couldn't get that by Thursday. Okay. Okay, let's move now to the next one. Sorry, not this one. Here. Okay. Tell whether the sentences are correct. If not, you need to make changes. They thought that was the only house around 4 miles. Where's the subject? What do you think? Where's the subject? They thought that was the only house around 4 miles. Okay, he thought that the old lady lived in another world. The children thought that the new game was fun. So, here the first one, as I said, it needs a subject. Where's the subject? So, they thought that it was the only house. While here it's correct, lived back shifted, and here the verb is correct. And sorry, I have here the subject, and I have here also the subject and the back shifted verb, the subject and the back shifted verb, and so on. For extra practice, ladies, on this topic, this one is very helpful. You can just click here for extra practice. This website is provided by the Ministry of Education, so it's very helpful. You can watch a video, do activities, also you have a matching game, and so on. Okay, this is for reported speech. Here also I put for you extra links if you want to practice. Okay. The second one here also still we're in the talking about reported speech, but here I'm talking about passive reported speech. I told you he would be given the job. So the speaker is reporting what they have previously said about someone getting a job, but we didn't mention who's going to give him that job. So the passive is used here. Do you remember passive? When we focus on the action, on the result, not on the doer or on the performance of the action. So the passive is used because the emphasis, التركيز is on the action, getting the job, rather than who the performer or who decided to appoint them. So the direct speech was, they will give him the job. So in reported speech passive, we use the past clause of belief or reporting. I told you. Would, was, were, going to, plus be, plus past participle. When do we use this? Look here, past clause of belief or reporting. This is the part. I told you. Then would or was or were going to. Here I have would, then verb to be, then the past participle. This one with I told you. This one matches with this one. For sure we need the subject. Then this one be here. Then we use what? The past participle of the verb. Okay. We can use a reporting clause with passive infinitives to report what somebody has said or thought about the subject in the past. So the first clause in the sentence is reported speech, I told you, and is formed with a reporting verb. Told, this is the reporting verb in the past tense. The emphasis of the sentence is on the previous speech. The second clause is the passive infinitive. Passive infinitive, and is used because the emphasis is on the action rather than the doer. Look, other examples. We thought that the rat wasn't going to be caught, but finally the cat got it. We thought, this is the reporting. Oh, I need to use this one. Yellow. So again, this is the reporting verbs. Wasn't going, here I need to use this one. Wasn't going to what? Be caught is the indication of using passive. I didn't say who's going to catch the rat, but I'm just focusing on the action itself, that the rat wasn't going to be caught. He said that they were going to be driven to the mall soon. Here I have the reporting verb. Then I have we're going to. Here, this is the sentence. Passive infinitive, we're going to. Infinitive be driven is the passive. Okay. They always believed that he would be appointed. Maybe I have to change this one to tab. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Believed is the reporting verb. Be appointed is the passive, and here is he would here. Passive infinitive. Okay. Passive, usually with reporting verbs, I have two ways to report passive verbs, okay? Or to report passive sentences. If the original sentence was, they are in Las Vegas, this is the original sentence. To make it reported speech with passive, it said, someone said, generalization, it said that they are in Las Vegas, okay? I'm distancing myself from this information and I say that someone else, that it's not me. Other verbs can use to report passive such sentences, or we call them reporting verbs, verbs of saying or believing, like agree, it's agreed, it's announced that, it's believed that, it's claimed that, claimed يعني يزعم أو يعتقد, it's considered that, يعتبر, it's expected, it's hoped, it's known, it's reported, it's said, it's suggested, it's thought, it's understood. All these are called reporting verbs. We use these reporting verbs in passive to introduce what? To introduce reported speech sentences. I have two ways to make this sentence in passive. I either say it's believed that, and I just continue the sentence the same, that they are in Las Vegas. But if I want to start the sentence with the subject itself of the sentence, they are believed, pay attention that I changed what? The helping verb according to my new subject, they. So after that, they are believed, I use infinitive, to be in Las Vegas. So the first rule, or form one, I use it, passive reporting verb, because at I use it with is, then that clause. The second one, I use the subject of my main clause, this one, then I put the passive reporting verb. How is it passive? Are believe. Helping verb plus past participle, then I add to plus infinitive. Infinitive base verb, you know, ladies, that after to, we always use base verb. Okay. They warned us, this is our third rule, also about reported speech. Have you noticed how much they are focusing on reported speech this time? 3 topics till now under reported speech. But here we are focusing on what? Reporting, advice, requests, orders, okay? Reported what? Orders, requests, and advice with what? With to. So if I have a sentence, so imagine that your mom or your dad tells you, don't go there, in that way. Your parents, both of them, warn you not to go there. So they warned us not to go there. Here, the speaker is reporting some advice or a warning a group of people have given to them. So the original sentence was, don't go there. How do I change this one? I start with what? Reporting verb. This reporting verb this time is related to orders, to advice, to requests. Then what? If I have negative, like here, don't, so I need to add not. Then what comes next? Base verb. Go here, I change it to go. So we can use a reporting verb with to and an infinitive base verb again to talk about an order, request, or piece of advice someone has said directly to us in the past. Reported speech is formed with the reporting verb like warned, like advised, like ordered, like asked, and the infinitive of the verb go is used instead of backshifting. Here, I don't backshift, I don't change from present to past, I just use what the base form of a verb preceded by to. He told me not to be late. So the original sentence was he told me not to be late. So it starts with don't be late. Since I have what? To. Here. She begged me to take her book back to the library. Please take my books or my book back to the library. Why did I use please? Because here she begged me. زي كأنها ترجتني. Please take my book back to the library. The last one here that I can't see, I encouraged him what? I encouraged him to learn Mandarin. So the original one, learn Mandarin, or it could be why don't you learn Mandarin? Mandarin, you know, the Indian language. Okay. This one. Okay. So in commands, requests, orders, and advice again, do, it either starts with do your homework, clean your room, imperative, then the rest, reported speech, to. I add to. He told me to do my homework or to do his homework. He told her to clean her room. Open the door. He ordered me to open the door. If I have negative, don't answer the phone. She told me not to answer the phone. Don't be back late. He ordered me not to be back late. I think this is the easiest part of reported speech, is to report orders, advice, warning, and so on. Okay. What's the rule here? This is our fourth rule, which is third conditional. In general, we studied conditionals together in term 1. Conditionals اللي هم الجمل الشرطية يا صبايا. في عنا جملة بتتكون من جزئين. الجزء الأول فيها شرط، الجزء الثاني فيها نتيجة. Okay, and actually we have 4 types of conditionals. We have zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and this time they are focusing on third conditional. Look at this example. It says, I could have stayed in an expensive hotel if I had saved more money. الجملة الشرطية عندي هون sorry. الجملة الشرطية اللي عندي إياها هون هذا الشرط if I had saved more money. هل أنا وفرت فعلا مصاري فلوس؟ Actually no. If I had saved more money, it means that I didn't save money. But I'm saying if I had saved money, شو كانت النتيجة لو أنا وفرت فلوس أكتر؟ I could have stayed in an expensive hotel. بس الحقيقة إني أنا لا وفرت فلوس زيادة عشان هيك لهذا السبب لم أستطع أن أقيم في فندق غالي. طيب شو نلاحظ شو التركيب، شو تركيبتها يا ناس؟ if I had saved, it doesn't matter It doesn't matter if I put the F clause. This part is called F clause. It doesn't matter if I put this at the beginning or at the end. It doesn't matter. The meaning stays the same. So the rule says that I start with F, then past perfect. Where's the past perfect here? I had saved. This is a hypothetical, unreal, imaginary situation in the past. What comes next? What comes next? Could or would have, then past participle. This is the rule for hypothetical, unimaginary situations. Imaginary, unreal situations in the past. Would, wouldn't, could, have, plus past participle, or if past perfect. So this one follows this one, this rule. If in the second part. So we use the third conditional to describe a hypothetical past action. Hypothetical, again, unreal, imaginary, خيالي, غير واقعي. ما بقدر أغيره when, not in the present or in the future, no, in the past. And to imagine the results of that action. حدث في الماضي انتهى، ما بقدر أغير لا الشرط ولا النتيجة. وعادة بظهر لي استخدام الثird conditional، بظهر لي هيك نوع من الأسف أو regretting. Okay, the past action is in the past perfect and the imagined result in the clause with past participle. وين ال past action in the past perfect اللي هو الجملة الشرطية مستخدمة بال past perfect. If I had saved money. النتيجة مستخدمة بال could have stayed. Could or would modal verb followed by have followed by past participle. Salim wouldn't have failed if he had studied harder. لو سالم درس ما كان رسب أو ما نجح في الاختبار، فهو لا درس ولا نجح في الاختبار. الشرط إنه لو درس كان نجح، بس هو الحقيقة هو لا درس فالنتيجة ما نجح. If we had left earlier, we wouldn't have missed our flight. If we had left earlier فيها أسف، فيها regretting، بس الحقيقة هم غادروا متأخر. هم لو غادروا باكرا ما كانوا راحت عليهم الطيارة. أوكي، بس هم الحقيقة إنه هم غادروا متأخرين فالنتيجة كانت إنه they missed their flight. had left, wouldn't have missed, wouldn't have failed. شو كان الشرط لو if he had studied? They would have what? I can't see this sentence. They would have been on time. Yeah, they would have been on time if they hadn't dropped their friend off. So they hadn't dropped their friend off. هذا الشرط. النتيجة they would have been on time. So again, this is an easier slide to understand. I use if past perfect, second clause would or wouldn't, verb plus what? Wouldn't, not only verb, have plus past participle. I would have joined you. They would have caught the train. Okay, would have plus past participle. How would you react if they had offered you the job? If I had studied more, I would have passed the exam. أشياء ما بقدر مواقف ما بقدر أغيرها حطت في الماضي وبتخيل نتيجتها لو كان الشرط مختلف. Okay. يلا let's complete. If I had what? If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Okay. If she had listened to the weather forecast, she wouldn't have forgotten her umbrella. If they had left earlier, they wouldn't have missed the train. If he had saved his money, he wouldn't have been able to buy a car. He would have been able, sorry, not wouldn't. If he had saved his money, لو وفر فلوسه كان ممكن يشتري سيارة. He would have been able to buy a car, but actually he didn't save his money, and so now he's not able to buy that car. If we had booked our tickets earlier, we have been gotten better seats, but we didn't book our tickets early, so we didn't get better seats. Look, studied would have, listened would have never forgotten, left wouldn't have missed, saved would have not been booked. Pay attention that all these were preceded by what? Had. Past perfect. Another practice for third conditional, okay, on this website. I recommend you all ladies to take this one. Extra practice for third conditional and extra explanation for third conditional on this link. Okay. Now, I think this one is the simplest and the easiest grammar topic included in your end of term material, which is past continuous. Okay, so looking at the timeline of the tenses, I have present now, I have the future, events that will take place later on in the future, and past, things that happened and finished in the past. When I say Amal was intending to learn Spanish, I'm talking about an action that was in progress in the past. That sentence means at an undefined period of time. I don't know when. Amal wanted to study a particular new language, but she doesn't want to now. In the past, she wanted to do that, but not now. What is the grammatical rule for the past continuous? Subject was or were plus what? ing, intending, planning, hoping, plus verb phrase. So the past continuous is used to describe an action that was taking place for an undefined period of time in the past. We use it with verbs such as intending, planning, or hoping. Refer to past plans and intentions, but now they are not effective. Okay. They were hoping to travel to Europe this summer. They were hoping to travel. They were hoping to travel. But did they really travel this summer? They were only hoping. I'm not saying that they were traveling, they were hoping. I wasn't planning to start yoga, but I changed my mind. I'm using it with planning. She was intending to what? She was intending to climb G's mountain. She was intending, but now, no, she doesn't have that intention. Okay. The same explanation as what I said to express one action interrupted another action in the past. This is another use for past continuous when we have two actions in the past. One was in the progress when another short action cut and interrupted. So I was taking a bath when the doorbell rang. This is the action that was in progress, past continuous. Then this is the short action that cut or interrupted that long or the action that was in progress. Here is the form with I, he, she, or it. I use was plus the verb ing. In negative, was not plus verb ing. In questions, I switch the order between the helping verb and the subject, then the verb ing. If the subject refers to a plural noun like we, you, they, or any plural noun, so I use it with the helping verb were plus the verb ing. We're not in the negative plus verb ing. In the questions, we switch the order again. We start with were, the subject, then the verb ing. So they go to Paris. They were going to Paris. I write my English homework all afternoon. I was writing. We were not waiting for a long time. What were they doing? Look here, it's a question, so I switch between the subject and the helping verb. Your friend, listen, so your friend, I'm not talking about you, so I don't use were, I'm talking about your friend. So I say, was your friend listening to the teacher? Okay. Now, some linking words, or not linking words, let's say keywords that I use with past continuous, like will and while and when, while and when. So while is usually followed by past continuous, while when is usually followed by past simple. So if I have this example, my mobile phone rang while the band was playing. So while is followed by past continuous, so the other part of the sentence was in simple past. While if I have, I was reading a book while you were watching TV. Here I used while to connect two parts of actions that were in progress in the past. What were you doing when I phoned you? So pay attention that here when is followed by simple past, so the other part will be in progressive. When the phone rang, I was watching the news. So when is followed by simple past, so the other part will be in progressive. Extra practice for past continuous on this website. Again, it's very recommended to use these websites. Okay, what we all want is for our team to win. Here we have the cleft sentences. So the speaker is focusing on the desire to be part of the winning team. So I want to focus what we all want is for our team to win, instead of saying that our team wants to win. Our team wants to win. So I just cleft the sentence, split the sentence into two parts to focus on what we all want. We can use cleft sentences either in the past, in the present, or in the future. So what is the structure of the cleft sentences? WH word or WH clause, then verb to be, here I have is, then the emphasized word or the phrase. Here is the emphasized word or the phrase. So we use cleft sentences to help us focus on a particular part of the sentence and to emphasize a new information. Usually starts with WH words like what, but also we can use why, where, how. Okay, and the information in the WH clause is typically understood information, while the information in the following clause is new and emphasized. So what I need now, this is what we say typically understood. What I need now is, here is the emphasized piece of information, a cup of hot chocolate. What they need is a long holiday in Europe. What Ali said was he doesn't need our help. Okay. What I do is sing. All I do is sing. It's singing what I do. Okay, you can watch this video also again at your convenience, just to understand the cleft sentences. So they allow us to emphasize different parts of the sentence depending on which part is the most important one, and they are usually introduced by it or by what. So cleft sentences beginning with what, they are common in spoken English. So what I like best about going to the cinema is what? What I like the best is talking about the film afterwards. What drives me up the wall is people talking during the film. What I found was that the films my friends liked were very different from the ones I liked. Okay, we said that we can also start with where, why, who, and how. Like how the kids did this is still unclear to me. And what clause can come at the end of the sentence, like this example. The game we played was what I liked the most. Or I can start with what I like the most was the game we played, or we can put it at the end. The game we played was what I liked the most. Okay. Extra practice as usual. You can take these quizzes and this live worksheet to practice what left sentences. It was Hamad who injured his knee. Here I have another type of cleft sentences that start with it. So the speaker is emphasizing and focusing on the person that hurt his knee. So in this case, I use at, then verb to be, was or were, depending on the sentence, if it's in a past or present. Then I have what, the noun or the subject, mainly that, who, and relative clause. So we use this type of cleft sentences to focus on a particular part of the sentence and to emphasize new information. It's called at cleft sentences. So the information that comes after it is emphasized for the listener. We use that or who to begin the clause that contains information that is already understood. It was today that I saw them. Here, it was today the emphasized piece of information. Why? That I saw them, this is the piece of information that is already understood. It is my parents who always support me. It is the team's spirit that will motivate me to do better. It was Nadia's what? It was Nadia's attitude that helped her sister win the race. Okay, here's a simple sentence with no particular emphasis. You invited me to the party yesterday. If I ask you to focus or to emphasize the part of you. So to change this one to an at cleft sentence, I say, it was you who invited me to the party yesterday. If I ask you to emphasize the time, it was yesterday, so I say it was yesterday. When? So look here, when fits or suits the time. Yesterday, not any other time. If I tell you to emphasize party, so you say it was the party that you invited me to yesterday. I'm talking about the party specifically, not any other event. Okay, let's rewrite these sentences. I knocked on the door. No, sorry, not this. Here. I knocked on the door. This one is good. I knocked on the door. It was me who knocked on the door. Here, it was who? It was Muhammad who, don't forget this relative pronoun, who played with the ball. She swims every morning. It was what? It was she. It was her. Sorry, it was her, not she. In a place of object pronoun. It was her who swims every morning. It was the boys, even the boys, plural, I use it. It was the boys who played soccer. Sultan gave his mother a necklace. It was Sultan who gave his mother a necklace. Okay. Last one, the drought made people suffer. It was the drought. That, here I use that, not who, because drought is an object, non-living thing, so I can't use it with who. So I say it was the drought that made people suffer. It's she who swims every morning. Sorry. Okay. I have to focus. Sorry on this mistake. That here the verb is. The verb here is in the present, so I have to pay attention to use the verb and present. It was she, and also I can say it was her. It is her who swims. Or it is she better. It is she. Because here I'm focusing on it's she who swims every morning. Okay. And here, this website to practice. Okay. Here we have conjunctions. Do you remember when we studied together the parts of speech and we said one of these 8 parts of speech is conjunctions? These conjunctions are words used to connect sentences, to connect ideas together. And we have 2 types of conjunctions, either coordinate conjunctions like and, so, but, they combine simple sentences, while the subordinating conjunctions we use them in complex sentences. We have dependent clause and independent clause. independent clause هي الجملة المستقلة اللي بتعطيني معنى كامل. independent clause هي جزء من الجملة معتمد في معناه على جزء آخر، يعني لوحده ما بيكتمل معناه. So Sarah exercises 3 days a week. This is an independent. If I only say this sentence, you can understand the meaning. It stands by itself and it has a full thought or a full meaning. Why? If I only say while Amal exercises every day, do you understand anything only from this part? No. So this is the dependent clause that doesn't have a full meaning and it can't stand alone by itself. It needs another part to give a full meaning. So when we use coordinate conjunctions, we use independent clause. This is the independent clause. we use a subordinating conjunction. This one could be while, whilst, it has the same meaning, whereas to compare, for contrast or to compare two things, then I have the dependent clause, the part that doesn't stand by itself. So a subordinating conjunction is a word or a phrase that links a dependent clause to an independent clause. It indicates that the subordinating or the dependent clause has information to add to the sentence's main idea. This information often contrasts with the main idea. I enjoy long drives, whereas Hind finds them very boring. Look here, I have this comma. I have comma to separate these two clauses, whereas I use it to compare, to contrast between two things, I and Hind. While I appreciate your job offer, I can't accept it. Okay, balanced. While I appreciate, at the same time I can't accept it. Hamad prefers outdoor activities while Ali prefers to stay indoors. So I'm comparing between contrasts with the main idea. I use these three to contrast, to compare between two parts, or to contrast the main ideas. This is the main function of these subordinating conjunctions. Subordinate conjunction, single word or group of words that links a dependent clause to an independent. I met them. This is the independent. The dependent when we were in Paris. This is the dependent. It doesn't have any meaning without this part. The same explanation that I have just said. What other types of subordinating conjunctions we have? We have different functions of them. And we have different words that go under each category. But here we are focusing on contrasting, whereas, while, and whilst. Okay? We're focusing on this part, although, okay. Here is another video from Khan Academy for subordinating conjunctions. While and whilst, the difference between them. Whereas, while, and whereas. And extra practice on this website. Okay, let's fill here with whereas, while, and whilst. Okay, while I prefer staying indoors, my sister enjoys outdoor activities. I start with while at the beginning of the sentence. She likes spicy food, whereas he prefers mild dishes. Okay, here I have two people I'm comparing between them. Whereas you were sleeping, I was working, whilst. Or while, both work by the way. You were sleeping, I was working on my assignment. And so on. You finish them by yourself, ladies. Extra practice for subordinating conjunctions. Okay, the last grammar topic here that we have is the comparative adjectives, words used to describe nouns, but here I'm talking about comparative when I have two things that I compare between them. So I have verb or noun phrase, I have comparative adjective, then a must to use than, then the other verb or noun phrase. So growing vegetables at home, this is the verb, or this is what we call, if you remember, jara. So growing vegetables at home is, this is the main verb, better than buying them from the store. So comparative adjectives are used to compare two people or things. We use them, or use these adjectives to say that one person or one thing demonstrates a high degree of equality or is a better example of equality than the other. So the rule is either we add er to the end of the adjective or we add more before the adjective. It depends on the number of the syllables in the adjective. So if the adjective is too long that I can't add er, like beautiful, can I say beautifuler? It's difficult to pronounce, so because of that we add more before. Importanter? No, more important. Expensiver? No, more expensive. While if the adjective is short, like big, hot, short, tall, we just add er, a bigger reference to her. Much easier than, okay, pay attention to this common mistake between students that they say more easier. No, I can't use er with more. If I want to emphasize the highest or the higher degree, I say much easier than driving a truck. So usually short adjectives, I just add er, long, longer, short, shorter, small, smaller. If the adjective itself ends with e, I just add r, like large, larger, nice, nicer. If an adjective ends with y, I just change the y into I and I add er, like heavy, heavier, happy, happier, funny, funnier. Okay, if ending in a vowel and a consonant, so we double the consonant. This is for short adjectives that have consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, حرف ساكن. Vowel, حرف علة. Consonant, حرف ساكن. So big, bigger. I double the last consonant. Fat, fatter. Thin, thinner. Okay. Two or more syllables for long adjectives, I add more before them. Beautiful, more beautiful. Powerful, more powerful. Amazing, more amazing. Expensive, more expensive, and so on. Here is a video for you. And here is this website to practice. Extra online practice on comparative adjectives. Okay. For the functional language, ladies, here we have also, you need to focus on describing past experiences. That means you need to revise phrases used to talk about past events using past, okay? Past continuous, past perfect, past adjectives. So I recommend you to go to that website on this functional language point. When I was a child, my teacher would read to us every day. So that helps you a lot in your writing part, okay? At the same time, it helps also in the maze and in the reading part. So you can practice describing past experiences on this website. For comparing and contrasting, as what we studied before about while, whilst, and whereas, okay, you can practice this one. And the last topic, expressing regret, it's related to third conditional, okay, mixed conditionals or third conditionals. If only, I wish, past tenses. If I would been on time for the football match, I would have seen. I deeply regret not spending more time. If I had watched, I would be more informed about how to reduce the use of harmful materials. If only I had the new motorbike when it was displayed in the showroom. If only I had more time to practice running, I would have won the race easily. I deeply regret not thinking more creatively when painting the portrait. I wish I had enough money. Pay attention that after I wish I use I had, and only if only I use it with had with past perfect. Also, you can practice that on this website. And thank you for your listening for this video. If you have any question, you can send me privately or anonymous or whatever you want. I would be very glad to answer your questions. Also, please make sure that you cover all the exercises here. Watch the videos in that PowerPoint. Also, they help a lot. And thank you for listening.